I just finished playing through both the Notary games and Zero Time Dilemma, and I really just wanted something that would scratch that murder mystery itch. It was also around this time where I had really just learned about Spike Chunsoft, and then I looked into them more. AI The Somnium Files has always been on my radar, but I never really knew who made it. I paid like $21 on Steam to play this game for a little under 24 hours, which is about the same as how long to beat 23 hours on average. My name is Vivek Sales, this is Backlog Worthy. Let's sit down and talk about AI The Somnium Files. The opening scene is an abandoned amusement park during a gloomy time of night. The camera pans around a rundown carousel until it stops on a woman who has been murdered, tied, and missing her left eye. You play as Kaname Date, who has been appointed the case of the new Cyclops killing. Your only lead is that it's believed to be a copycat killer, following in the footsteps of the original Cyclops killings. During your playthrough, you dive deeper into these killings while exploring locations within Tokyo, Japan. You'll end up getting lost with every area to explore within all the districts of Tokyo. Kaname Date is the main protagonist in AI The Somnium Files. Working with the Advanced Brain Investigation Squad, known as Abyss, he was appointed the new Cyclops killings in order to uncover the mysteries behind it. Aiba, his partner that resides in his eye, is who you play as while in the minds of others, known as Somnium. Even though these two work together on one hell of a constant basis, they can get off on the wrong foot sometimes. Mizuki Okiura is a main character within the Somnium Files and is the daughter of the first two victims of the new Cyclops killings, Shoko Nadami and Renju Okiura. After discovering the bodies, Date took Mizuki into the hospital and ultimately took her in and assumed the guardianship role over her. Just like Aiba, these two can get into sassy or heated conversations. Oda Masahida is a side character who is in love with Iris Sagan. Like, in love to the point where Oda will do some questionable stuff for her. He's honestly my least favorite character in this game, and I don't really have a reason besides I didn't like him. Iris Sagan is a live streamer and YouTuber within the Somnium Files games, and in real life I learned while making this video. She's another side character who is friends with Oda and Mizuki. Boss is the last main character, and there really isn't much to say besides she's the boss of Abyss. She really isn't seen much in the game outside of the opening scene and the talks within her office. Combat is pretty much non-existent. The best you'll ever get is a few quick-time events, and man are those scarce. Gameplay is solving a mystery, or at least getting more clues to solve a mystery within another person's Somnium. The only downside to being inside someone's head is that you only have 6 minutes. Every move you make ticks down the clock, so every move has to count. Even if you're not moving, the clock will still count down, but it is slower compared to making choices. Speaking of choices, they are also a big thing while in Somnium. There can be up to 4 choices within any given puzzle, but only one will continue to open up the Somnium further and break mental locks. The mechanics in this game are mainly seen while in Somnium. A big one are called timies, which I just learned was short for time, induction, matter, and encephalon, which help make your time in Somnium a little easier. Some of the choices you have to make can cost a lot of time, and with the use of timies, you can lower that time cost. You are able to reduce the cost to a fraction of what it was, or even down to a single second. These are just a great thing to use, just don't be like me and forget to use them most of the time. Mental locks are another thing to think about while in Somnium. Think of the Psyche locks from Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. You have to break those locks in order to grab more info to further the case. It's kind of the same thing in AI The Somnium Files. In order to pass mental locks, you have to make the same choices the person would have made on their own. Once making these few choices, the lock is broken and more of the Somnium can be seen. There is also the option to change your vision type while investigating scenes with Date. You have access to the X-ray, thermos, and night vision modes to help conduct your investigation. This isn't like other games that I've reviewed where the music can be upbeat all the time, or have music that perfectly pairs with the action. Most of the music within Somnium Files is there to keep the mystery and suspense of the scene with you for as long as it can. Something I did like about the music is that depending on which track you're listening to in the game, it can make a scene much more dire than what is portrayed. AI The Somnium Files scored a 9 out of 10 for me. It was a great game to the point where I didn't hesitate to buy the sequel on day one when it released. This is one game that should be played whenever you get the chance to, and don't let it sit in your backlog.